Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is not the burden of affirmative side to establish that by taking away the media, there will be no hostage situation and that there will be no more rebellion. What we are discussing in this debate is a relative comparison of situations. Harms will always be there, but with the presence of media and us taking them away from live broadcasting in these situations, will we be able to reduce the harm that is committed? That is why it is the burden of the second speaker of affirmative in discussing benefits to show that removal of live broadcasts will minimize the harms that are committed and remove the aggravating situations that would cause harm, like what happened in the hostage-taking situation 2 weeks ago. For my first point, I will argue the benefit of removing live broadcasts vis-a-vis the success of emergency operations. Having live rolling media coverage in those situations, ladies and gentlemen, affects the psyche of those involved and how they act. An analogous circumstance discussed by the Supreme Court in the early 2000s is the In Re Estrada trial case, wherein they said that having the presence of cameras in a live trial will lead to filibustering lawyers, to grandstanding prosecutors, and even pressured witnesses. And applying it by analogy, ladies and gentlemen, to the Quirino hostage situation, we see how a live broadcast can affect the relationship and the psyche of people involved in that situation. For instance, hostage taker Mendoza was emboldened to ask for more demands. His fervor increased. In fact, the best proof is the sign that he posted on the door of the bus. He said, "Media now," because he knows that because the media was there, he can circumvent the government negotiators and demand straight from Radio Mindanao, Urban Tulfo, or whoever would approach him. Second, in having live broadcast right at that moment, Mendoza was able to see his brother being bludgeoned by the police on the ground, and this aggravated the situation, and this heightened his anger against the police. We see here that not just in that kind of situation, but even like in the Manila Pen siege a couple of years ago, the presence of live reporters there impeded the advance of law enforcement authorities and in fact blocked the success of the operations against those who are seeking to commit insurrection. We see here that media and the presence of live cameras is not a purely objective or value-neutral element in a crisis situation like what negative side would like us to believe. It affects the psyche of the people, it emboldens them, increases their fervor, and changes how they act. In fact, looking at media theory, we can look at Guy Debord of France or Jean Baudrillard saying that there's a society of spectacle about how media is not a neutral element anymore, but in fact affects how people act, think, and look at how the screen. The TV does not watch, we don't watch the TV watches us, Jean Baudrillard. Yes, ma'am.
Cannot the media also pressure government officials by live coverage to act and act more efficiently?
Indeed, Madam Chair, there can be that kind of situation, but we have to strike a balance, and this is touching onto my second point. Media can pressure government to act or even reform, like what is happening now, changing how the police operates, but not necessarily through a live broadcast. Because we still allow news desk reports like 5 minutes delayed or an hour delayed, depending on the exigencies of the circumstances. So, if they really want to pressure the government to act, they can release a news report saying that in Quirino Grandstand, there's a hostage-taking situation. We still don't have police representatives. Government will be enjoined to act on that situation. And second, people still have the right and ability to know because we're not removing all of the sources of information. Yes.
Oh,
I'm sorry, ma'am, but maybe JD can take your question. But, ma'am, in summarizing the second point, we look at the balancing of interests. The freedom of speech is not a right in a vacuum. We have to balance it against other interests. The right of the public to know, the right to public order and safety, and again, the right to freedom of expression. With our proposals, we balance everything out. Thank you.